Basic Instructions, NLP, Chukky Okobi here again, sharing my thoughts on something that came up in an NLP Master Practitioner group here on Facebook. And we were discussing a talk that Dr. Matt James gave on the COVID pandemic at a training this year. And I know some of us were hoping that there may be a recording of it out there that we can access. Now, I don't know if there is, but I do know as an NLP practitioner that the learnings I gained from listening to the talk, my unconscious mind remembers everything. It's in there. All I got to do is access it. Unconsciously, I know what I remember, what I learned from Dr. Matt. So, for the record, before I get into this, I just want to state that in no way, shape, or form do I represent the Empowerment Partnership, any person or entity affiliated with the Empowerment Partnership, nor do I or could I ever speak for Dr. Matt James. This is simply my interpretation of what I personally got from his speech. So I just want to make that clear. And I can't deliver a message quite like he can, but then again, who could, right? I'm just going to put it into my own words and give you my own personal perspective as to what I learned from Dr. Matt about this COVID situation that we're all dealing with right now. Now, I'm not a medical professional, but from my perspective, the panic surrounding coronavirus that's sweeping the world right now, like, I'm in no position of expertise to minimize the seriousness of this virus. It's just what I'm talking about is the panic itself. The fear may be making us all more susceptible to its potential spread. I mean, a lot of the world is running around feeling confusion and fear, worried about getting sick, not knowing what to do, right? And with all the mixed messages and stories that we're hearing and seeing in the news and what we're sharing on social media around this phantom menace. Now, I, as an NLP practitioner, do believe these negative emotions tied to the narrative around COVID can adversely affect our immune system, the actual physical body. I mean, after all, that is the third theme of NLP, mind-body-energy connection, right? Now, I remember Dr. Matt talking about the physical science of how our thoughts and emotions at this time are even more important now, and how we tell our story during this time, how it scientifically does affect our physical body's ability to fight sickness. That's why I have to remember and apply the emotional tools and practices that many of us already have. We all need mental and emotional tools right now to keep our immune system healthy, to combat the disease. I mean, it's just as crucial, just like the physical practices like washing your hands and social distancing, common sense practices to prevent its spread. And again, I'm not quoting Dr. Matt, but he talked about the medical science behind this, the mind-body connection and the immune system's ability to fight disease. So let me see if I can explain it correctly, what I learned. Your emotional health is intricately linked to your immune system. And your immune system is a collection of billions of cells and target organs that have the primary job of keeping you healthy and fighting disease. Your immune system cells travel throughout your body and defend it against antigens like viruses. When we're telling ourselves a negative story around COVID experience, what we're experiencing right now, our mind and energy is charged with fear. And these stress-dominated thoughts cause the brain to release a stress hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is the body's primary stress hormone, and it naturally suppresses the immune system by reducing the number of virus-fighting cells in the body. Now, why would our body reduce virus-fighting cells? I mean, we want to always be fighting the virus, right? Because fear automatically shuts down the immune system. That's what I got from this, and it makes sense to me. It's that natural fight or flight response that we all have. We inherited from our ancestors the way cavemen and women had to use that fear to save themselves from mortal danger, running from a bear or a lion. There's no time to fight disease when you're running for your life, right? I'm sure you'd agree with that. The fear kicks in, the cortisol is released, we stop fighting the virus. Now, you and I are not running from animals in the jungle. But fear is still fear. We all still have that fight or flight trigger in our unconscious mind. And now the fear is about something out there, something I can't see. I mean, it's something that I don't know enough about to feel safe from it. So it's that natural fight or flight response that's making me feel the way I do right now, making me tell the story the way that I'm telling it. In order to give myself and the world around me the best chance to defeat this thing, I know I have to remain at cause for my experience during this time in our world's history. I have to control the story, or these negative emotions could make getting sick a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, scientists estimate that we as human beings have about 60 to 80 thoughts a day. And these thoughts are primarily repetitive thoughts. And these repetitive thoughts are primarily negative, COVID or no COVID. Now, when you add that concept to the fact that your human brain, and as an NLP practitioner, we already know that your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference when you're vividly imagining something or worrying about something. It doesn't know the difference between that and real life. So just connect the dots and you can easily see the damage your panic may be wreaking on your risk of contracting or circulating this virus. Basic instructions. It's all about controlling the story. Because remember, the only thing that's real is this moment right now. The past, it's in your unconscious mind, it's gone. The future, it's in my imagination what I'm going to do tomorrow or next year. The only thing that's real is right now. So, am I at cause for my story? What am I saying to myself right now? What am I focused on right now? When we don't remain at cause for what we're experiencing during this pandemic, the story I'm telling myself around my COVID experience, the stress, the anxiety, the overwhelm, the isolation, if I give in to the negative story and this internal narrative goes unchecked, my story will actually reduce the effectiveness of my immune system and make me and those around me much more susceptible to getting sick. When my immune system's challenged and that fight or flight program is just running in the unconscious mind all day long, I'm more likely to contract and spread a circulating virus and expose those around me, my community, and the global population to more COVID. So that's my interpretation of what Dr. Matt said. And when I heard him speak on COVID, when I was there at HUNA in March, and when I assisted at prac training in Denver, negative emotions weaken my physical body as we're all trying to fight this COVID thing. Okay. So now I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do with all this? I mean, COVID is real, right? My kids can't go back to school. I'm collecting unemployment. I'm afraid to travel. And just for the record, so you know, at this point in this video, I'm no longer referencing what I got from Dr. Matt. Just allow me to share my personal views on this COVID dilemma and how I'm engaging my world through all of this. Personally, for me, I'm not afraid of COVID. I feel no fear around that word, coronavirus or COVID. And it's not because I don't believe it's not dangerous. It's because I don't know enough about it to keep myself in a constant, uncomfortable, emotional state of fear. It just seems pointless to me. I mean, I'm not a zoologist, but I know enough about rattlesnakes to fear them. You feel me? But on the other side of that coin, I don't know enough about it to not be afraid of it. I mean, should I be scared? Is fear a warranted emotion right now? Or am I being too aloof about COVID? I don't know. What I do know is that I control my story in this moment. And for me, living these NLP principles 100% the way that I do, I believe if I just stick to my values and principles, I think we can all make it through this crazy time. I mean, think about it. I don't know if this mask does anything or not. I don't know. What I do know is the number one presupposition of NLP, which is respect other people's model of the world. So I always wear the mask everywhere I go. I mean, it might be keeping me from getting sick, so that's an additional positive, right? For me, what's more important is recognizing that many people out there that I encounter in my world every day, they are scared. If I can honor others by covering my mouth and nose, acknowledge that I want them to be safe and myself as well, well then okay, no problem, I'll put on a mask. But you know, I got my rights. I don't believe in this COVID stuff. I'm not wearing that stupid mask. No stories. No negative story in my mind about it. Just respect other people's model of the world. And I do that anyway, COVID or no COVID. If I stand 6 feet behind the person in front of me at the store, that could keep me safer and it makes her feel safer. Then I'll stay 6 feet back. No problem. Respect her model of the world, basic instructions. I'm always aware that I don't know how others have been affected by this pandemic. I don't know who lost loved ones or who lost their job. I just got to respect that they're dealing with this unforeseen obstacle to their daily life and the emotions that come with it, just like me. But check this out. I'll tell you what I will not do. I won't not go to the store. I will not be a prisoner to COVID. I won't let coronavirus stop me from living and telling my positive story. I mean, if I choose to be an effect and not cause, if I'm going to point at COVID as to why I'm not living, not going anywhere, not doing anything, well then shit. I feel like I might as well just curl up in a fetal position in the corner in my basement and wait for death to come save me from this hell on earth experience. I mean, hiding and cowering in fear of COVID, forgive me, it just seems silly to me. The way I see it, I'm wearing a mask. I have the hand sanitizer in my pocket. I'm keeping my distance. I'm doing what I can to be ecological and keep everyone safe. I have to keep doing that. But I also have to keep going, keep growing, keep living. COVID's out there. Somewhere out there. It's not in here. It's not in here. Cause and effect. Am I at cause for my experience, my thoughts, my emotions, my actions? What is my story in this moment? What am I saying to myself? What do I feel right now? Right now, more than ever, it's crucial that I control my story. That'll give us the best chance to defeat this thing. Chukky, Okobi, basic instructions. That's my 2 cents on coronavirus. Forgive me if you don't feel this video is equal to a Dr. Matt presentation. I do hope my perspective could be of value to those that are looking for that message. Thanks for listening. Take control of the story. Use the tools we learned in the ballroom. And just keep telling that positive story. Success is simple if you know the basic instructions. Julio.